Hey everybody, welcome to the new video. This is Max from server 133. In today's video, we're going to be talking about subordinate city generals. Now, for understanding the use of a subordinate city general, there are two kinds of general that we have that you can consider to put on a subordinate city. A general that is basically improving the subordinate city buffs, something like the gold production, troop training speed, construction speed. Those are the development generals. You can definitely have those on the subordinate cities to grow your subordinate cities faster. But apart from that, what is that you should actually have on your subordinate cities? And the answer is debuff. Generals that provide negative buffs. Now, Evany has come up with a new general, David Farragut. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. It's Farragut. But yeah, it's David. So David has the special skill which reduces the enemy ranged troops and siege machine attack by 10%, and enemy ground troops and mounted troops defense by 20%. So if you add up these debuffs, it's a total 60% of debuff, out of which the ground troop defense is something that is going to be beneficial. The mounted troop defense is going to be beneficial. The siege machine attack debuff is going to be beneficial while you are attacking on the enemy, not while you are defending the incoming attack. Now I'm going to explain you about this as well in this video. The other buffs, that is enemy troop defense minus 10%. So this can be used while you are attacking. Then there is capture of New Orleans, which is enemy range troop attack minus 25%, enemy siege machine attack minus 25%. This can be used while you are defending. Now when I'm saying while you are attacking, while you are defending, so let's come to the point of the PvP. So whenever you're doing a PvP, your mounted troops are going to be the first one to get into the action because they have a good running speed, like they have the engagement speed. Behind them is the ground troops because they come with a shield, they are basically slow in walking. Behind them are the range troops, they have a very good range advantage, and as the enemy mounted troops are also running faster towards you, your range troops will hurt them really bad. And because the range has a battle advantage over mounted, so definitely the range is going to destroy mounted. But after that, there is siege machines which will be killing the range troops, because once the mounted troops are dead, then it is the ground troops holding the range troops back, or holding them or stopping them from coming forward, and at the same time your siege machine is taking the range advantage and hitting the range troops. Now that is the very simple and basic understanding of a PvP concept. Once the mounted troops are gone, the enemy can hit you with a ground march or a ground rally. That will hurt your ground troops as well. That will hurt your range troops as well. That will hurt your siege machines as well. Now the reason the enemy ground troops can hurt rest of all your troops is because while you have a defense general, you cannot increase the ground troop defense and HP to a very huge level, because you also want to increase the mounted troop defense and HP on your defense general, so that if somebody is attacking you with the range troops and you happen to be unable to ghost your troops, your mounted troops will fight hard. So that is the reason we normally refine on a defense general some buffs for your mounted troop defense, mounted troop HP, ground troop defense, siege machine attack, range troop attack, which you'll notice here: complete siege machine attack, ground troop defense. Here I have to fix the siege machine defense and change it to mounted troop defense. Some more mounted troop defense, mounted troop HP, again mounted troop HP, and siege machine attack. So this is generally how the attack and the HP buffs have been set on a defense general. Why do we have mixed buffs on a defense general? Is because his job is to defend all sorts of attacks. So he has to amplify the buff of each and every type of the troops that are sitting in the city, and because of which your defense general is very important. So whenever you are a 600 million or a 1 billion keep, the first attack that will come on to you is a range attack. Once you become a 2 billion keep, the first attack which will come on to you is a siege attack. Now the reason they send a siege attack first, so that the T11 siege with a general like this that has the siege machine range bonus and the siege machine ring. So this ring also has a siege machine range bonus. So for a general that has two of these siege machine range bonus, that guy's T11 troops will definitely hurt your T11, T12, T13 and T14 troops. Once the siege machine does the job of killing your siege machines, then the enemy is going to attack you with a range march. So definitely you need to debuff the siege machine attack. The fun part is majority of the subordinate city gears have a good siege machine attack debuff. So you don't have to worry about focusing majorly on siege machine attack debuff, but you would want to focus on the range troop attack debuff. I'm going to make a complete different video where I'll be speaking about the gears to be crafted on the sub-city generals, but here I'm going to be speaking about the most important one, which is picking the right subordinate city general. So there's this new general which has come into the game that you see here, which we just spoke about a few minutes ago. Is this guy debuffs that you need while you are attacking an enemy, but once you max out his specialities, this guy is really going to be useful for you while you are debuffing the incoming attack onto you, because as I said, the first attack coming on you is going to be a range attack. So yes, this general is good and he will be multi-purpose once you start maxing out his speciality. Now this guy is a premium general, so you're not going to get him for free. But let's look at some of these generals that are available on the tavern that you can get for free. But also I'll speak about the premium ones. So I think I should first speak about the premium ones. The first one that I'll start is with Subordinate the Great. Is a good general if you want to use him for defense purpose. Put him on the sub-city. The incoming attack will definitely be the range attack the first go. Now, until your mounted troops are there in the keep, until your mounted troops survive on your keep, the enemy cannot destroy you, because the range troops will not be able to go through your ground troops. The enemy mounted troops will collide with your ground troops and your mounted troops, whereas your range will kill the enemy mounted troops, and the enemy ground troops will smash into your mounted troops. So in simple words, there is no way to defeat you if your mounted troops survive. So the first thing, they will want to kill your mounted troops, and that is the reason you need to have a range troop attack debuff, which is only possible having a general like this on the sub-city that reduces the enemy range troop attack. Now when you look at a speciality, it also reduces the range troop attack, range troop defense, range troop HP, which is again a very good thing. So the first is 25% range troop attack, the speciality is another 26%, and the second speciality is another 10. So in simple words, it's 61% of range troop attack this general can debuff without any subordinate city gears. The next general that you can have on the subordinate city is the general Baldwin. Baldwin 4 gives you the range troop attack debuff 30% and then siege machine attack debuff 20%. Now the speciality gives you enemy range troop and siege machine attack another 20% debuff, enemy range troop and siege machine HP another 10% debuff, and then there is a enemy troop attack 10% debuff. So if you add all this debuff, 30% of range troop attack debuff, another 10%, that makes it 40%, another 20% here, that makes it 60% of range troop attack debuff. Apart from that, there is siege machine 20% here, 10% here, and then there is another 20% here. So 50% siege machine attack debuff. Go to see at a very higher game while you will be playing in the all-stars, there are going to be siege rallies happening on you, and that's when this general will be really helpful. However, there are a lot of gears that can increase your siege machine attack debuff. So Baldwin is good, not as great as compared to the general Subordinate the Great. The next general you can consider as one of the good or best sub-city general is Nordic Barbarian King. Reduces enemy troops attack by 30% and enemy troop defenses by 10% when general is leading the army. This guy is a multi-purpose general. You can have him for the defense purpose on the sub-city, or you can have him for the attack purpose on the sub-city. While you are attacking, if this general joins your attack, he is debuffing the enemy troops defenses as well. So that is the reason where you will have a good advantage to hurt them. I forgot to tell you one thing about Baldwin. Baldwin will definitely be useful for your attack purpose as well, because he can debuff the defending siege machines attack percentage. So that is one way he is good for sure. So Nordic Barbarian King will give you the debuff for the defense and also some debuff while you are attacking. Now moving on from this, another sub-city general that is now available on the tavern, but the best sub-city generals is Arminus. It has all kinds of debuff. Reduces enemy ground troops and mounted troops HP by 10%, enemy range troops and siege machine attack by 15% when general is leading the army to attack. So basically, while you are defending, the incoming range troops and siege machine attack is definitely going to drop down on you because of Arminus. Also, while you are attacking the enemy, the mounted troop and the ground troop HP will be reduced. At the same time, the defending siege machine attack will also be reduced. So Arminus is an all-rounder, one of the best subsidy generals that now you can easily have from the game, as they have made it available in the tavern. If you move down, there is another subsidy general, Margaret. She is good. She is not best. You can have her. Reduces the enemy troops attack by 10% and reduces enemy mounted troops attack by another 20% when general is leading the army. So if you are planning to have a nice set of generals which you keep shuffling depending on the troop type that you have in your keep to defend the incoming attack, then you can have multiple subsidy generals. But remember, crafting gears for them is going to be a headache. It's not that something you wake up in the morning and you will have 6 gears ready for one of your subsidy generals. Even if you are somebody who's going to be on a bot, this is impossible to do within a week. So you can craft only 1 gear per week, which means it's going to take you a 1.5 months to complete an entire set. So you can simply understand it's going to take you a year to craft debuff gears for all your subsidy generals. Even if you're on a bot, it's going to take you a while. So it's not an escape. So having multiple subsidy generals also means that you need to craft a lot of gears. Another subsidy general that you can go is Harald. He is not easily available. You can get him from the Dawn of Dynasty event. Reduces the enemy troops attack by 10% and reduces the enemy troops HP by 10%. So this guy can be used for attack and defense purpose both. While you are defending, of course the troops attack, and while you are attacking, that's when the troops attack and the troops HP. So multi-purpose guy. Going down in the free generals, not free generals but easily available generals, is Andrew Jackson. Used to be my favorite general, the Old Hickory. I like the skill name, the Old Hickory. This guy has a 20% range troop attack debuff and 20% mounted troop HP debuff. So while you are defending, the range troop attack debuff is definitely going to help you. But while you are attacking, the mounted troop debuff is going to benefit you. Why? If you remember in the earlier part of the video where I mentioned that you are going to be attacking the enemy and first you need to wipe their mounted troops and then you can go and hit their other type of troops, which is ground, range and siege. So because of which the General Andrew Jackson has been people's favorite. The other general that people get from the tavern that they consider putting on the subordinate city is Nero. Reduces enemy troops HP by 15% when general is leading the army. So if you're somebody who's planning to attack, get Nero on your sub city. Reduces the troop HP. Really beneficial while you're attacking somebody. Not that great, but again, reduces troop HP means it gives you a good opportunity to wound major troops of the enemy. I spoke about Harold, I spoke about Baldwin, and then in America, we spoke about Andrew Jackson. In Japan, there is Honda and Himiko, but their debuffs are moderate, not something extraordinary that you can consider having them on the subordinate city. In Korea, I don't think any general has a debuff that you can consider important. In China also it's the same. There is Weak Wing has a debuff, but that is like basic debuff. Yuffie does not have any debuff. This guy is a keep officer and this guy is a ground general. So yeah, there's not much debuff here. You can consider having General Vladimir on your subsidies. Reduces enemy troops attack by 10%. So basically, if you are planning to defend incoming attacks, and if you don't have too many generals, you don't have gold to buy generals, you can put Vladimir on your subordinate city. Now this video is basically for people who are not that advanced of a level yet, so that's the reason we are not speaking about the sub-city gears. But for those who are getting generals from the relic, you can also recruit him from tavern. So definitely a good general to put on your subordinate city, Vladimir the Great. There is Alexander Nevsky, again has debuff, not really that great, but you can put him on your subordinate city if you like. And also he can be on the wall. A lot of people, those who don't coin much and don't know to play, some of them have Alexander Nevsky on the wall. In Arabia, there is this guy, if I'm not wrong. Reduces enemy range troops and siege machine attack by 15% and enemy ground troops attack by 25% when general is leading the army. So I'm not pretty much sure that we need to debuff the ground troop attack, but it is good that he is debuffing the range troop and siege machine attack along with the ground troop attack. Not that great of a general on the subsidy, but still you can consider having him if you get him. Like this guy is totally based on luck. You can't just wake up in the morning and get him. He's totally based on luck. Apart from that, let's go to others, and here you will find Jester. Again, totally a luck based general. Reduces enemy troops attack by 15% when general is leading the army, and this 15% is all type of troops: range troops, ground troops, mounted troops, siege machine. Plus it also reduces enemy troops HP when you max out a specialty, and the same time it has another enemy troops attack minus 16% when you max out a specialty. So if you max out this general, he's debuffing the range troop attack, ground troop attack, mounted troop attack, siege machine attack. So what you majorly need for defending is the siege and range troop debuff, which this guy can give you. At the same time, it will give you mounted troop attack debuff. That is not really that necessary, but again, at some point of time when you become a big keep, this will come to use. But again, you have to be pretty lucky to get him. But I kind of like the previous picture of this general. Much funny. Now this one looks pretty serious and scary at the same time. But hey, I really like this appearance of this general. You can also have 6C on the sub-city. Reduces enemy troops defense by 15% and enemy ground troop defense by another 15% when general is leading the army. So super good general if you are planning to attack a keep which is filled with lot of ground troops. Just imagine you have already hit somebody and you have wiped down their mounted troops. By the time they heal the troops, if you have got 60 on your wall, 60 on your sub, she's going to be putting forward a 30% range troops defense debuff. Now, I'm so sorry. 30% ground troop defense debuff. Now, the ground troops, if you want to beat them, you need to break their defenses. So the defense is the strong point of a ground troop. It's just imagine it's a soldier holding a shield. You break the shield, the soldier is vulnerable. So that's the reason we need to work on 6Cs. 6C should be there to debuff the ground defenses. Apart from that, there is Mansa Munsa that you can put on the subordinate city. Reduces when general is leading the army. Increases subordinate city troops death to survival rate by 10% when general is the mayor. Also, if you max out a specialty, he will definitely give you some nice subordinate city buffs, but also gives you the enemy troop HP and enemy troop defense debuff. Not really that beneficial if you max out, but then again, if you are getting this general from somewhere, he's available in the tavern, you can put him on the sub-city. However, if you're planning to attack, this general is a good choice. Why? Because it's going to be giving you troop death to survival by 10%. So that is a good thing. If you're splatting on somebody, your general will die, but you will have troops available on your subordinate city, and you need those troops on your subordinate city so that you can carry forward debuff further again and again on somebody. So while you're attacking, your sub-city generals and troops die. However, with the help of this skill, a percentage, that is 10% of the troops, will survive. So you have a chance to attack again and apply a debuff on the enemy. However, during SVS and server wars and the normal standard fights, your generals will die. So you need to bubble up for a few seconds and then revive the generals, or you need to go back to the home server, revive the general and then come back to fight. So that is something that you can do. Suleiman also has some debuff, not that great, but if you can get him from the relics, so yes, place him on the subsidy till you find some nice debuff generals for your subs. Well, I have majorly concluded all the generals. Oh yes, there is this one that is reduces enemy ground troops attack by 35% and enemy ground troops and mounted troops HP by 20% when general is leading the army. Also, he has the troops attack debuff 10% in the specialty. Enemy ground troops and mounted troop attack 20%. Enemy ground troops and mounted troop HP 20%. So go to see, this general is also good if you are looking at the debuffs. However, he's a premium general, not that easy to get. But yes, if you have him on your subcity while you're attacking, pretty much good to hurt the enemy player. Well, with this I conclude the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Max from Server 133 signing out. I will see you next time, and please subscribe to the channel.